Derek, next up's Flag Day, which isn't something we've seen often here. Is that a kind of chance for the fans to reflect on the success of last season, but kind of knuckle down and focus on the new challenge?
Yeah, I think it obviously brings closure to last season, and with that, the start of what's going to be a really important season for us, an exciting campaign. It's nice for the players and the club to be recognised with Flag Day, but and I'm sure there'll be a healthy crowd in to witness it, which is always good. I think this week feels like the first game of the season. You know, I know we've been playing League Cup ties, but and getting through was a priority in that. But this feels different. You know, training's at the next edge this week. You know, players will probably be seeing this as a chance to really step forward, and you know, and we feel as though the intensity, the speed, the quality of training has been excellent this week. So we feel as though we're in a good place. Still work to do, of course, and nobody's going to be perfect, as I said, at a stage of the season. But you know, I'm encouraged by the players' appetite for the season ahead, their motivation, their tightness as a bunch of boys. You know, that's going to be so important for us in dealing with the ups and downs of the campaign ahead. But you know, I think that we feel stronger certainly than we did a few weeks ago, and more equipped to deal with what's ahead.
That intensity you mentioned in the players in training this week, do you feel like that's been a switch based on with the players that were here last season? This was the goal, you know, getting back to this moment.
Yeah, and I think it's been a long pre-season for us. You know, it was elongated because we wanted to try and be as ready as we could do for the League Cup games. So I think sometimes when you know, friendlies are there for a reason, they serve their purpose, but friendlies are friendlies. Yeah, the League Cup, although it's competitive football, maybe your managers are still trying to get minutes into players. They're no risking players, so we had a lot of injuries and players unavailable. You're trying to integrate players who are coming at different stages. You know, we're getting players from various clubs who maybe not done quite the same level of pre-season as others, so we try to build minutes up that way. But all that goes out the window when it comes to the first league game. You know, it's all about pick your strongest 11, pick the team that you think's ready. You know, and it's my job to look at Dundee United, to look at us and try and pick what I think is the best 11 to start the game. Now, it might not be everybody's starting 11, everybody's got opinions, but what we're looking to try and do is give everybody, you know, the feeling that they've all got a role to play. Each game will be looked at on its merits, but if players are playing well, if we're keeping clean sheets and scoring goals and doing well and bringing a high level of performance, then you don't want to make too many changes. And I think throughout the pre-season and League Cup stuff, we were obviously forced to make a lot of changes, and we want to try and get a bit more familiarity into the team. And but today and this week of training has been excellent, so it gives me loads of encouragement to see how tenacious and good training's been this week. So we're going to need that. We're going to need to be that type of team, particularly at home, and if we can replicate this week's training into the game on Saturday, we'll be alright.
With this tough fixture, you know, for the first game, Dundee United, do you feel like it's like a chance to show what we're all going to be about this season, you know, kind of put down a marker? Yeah, it'll be a test for us because they've got good players and players that can hurt you, you know, players that have played at level, players that have played in the Premier League a lot of their careers. But this is what we wanted, you know, without any disrespect, looking at the fixtures last season for Kilmarnock, you know, it wouldn't have had the same feel, you know, and while it was new and it was the first time out with the Premier League for a while and the fans were still there. You know, this is what you want. It's a tough set of fixtures for us, but listen, everybody's got to play each other, and I think we'd all want to be involved in this, and this is exactly where we are. This is what we worked so hard to achieve. And you know, Dundee United at home is a tough game. Dundee United had a brilliant season last year. You know, 49 points, gets them 4th spot, and a shot at Europe next week. So they'll be feeling good about themselves about that, and I'm sure they're looking for those improvements under Jack this season. So it is a tough game, there's no doubt about it, but listen, I want to make sure how I used to feel coming here as a manager. Like, I always expected a tough game against Kilmarnock. It was never easy, it was always tough, and we had to deal with some pain during it. We had to endure a lot of pressure, we had to deal with so many things going on, and we want to make sure that is the version of Kilmarnock we want to be tough to play against. We don't want people to enjoy coming here. We want to try and be
a good team at home and build up that reputation. And we did that last season in the Championship, and it's vitally important for us to achieve what we want to achieve this season, that we are a strong home team again, and hopefully we can just get off to a good start on Saturday.
And how is the squad looking going into the game?
We managed to get a few back, which again helps with the standard of training. It helps with that competitiveness for places. So Blair Alston's come back and integrated into the squad this week. Fraser Murray, Liam Donnelly and Kyle Lafferty. So, you know, players who potentially could have made last Saturday. You know, they've had the benefit now of a good few days training. Blair, not so much. Blair's just back, so Saturday's going to come too quick for him, but it's great to have him back, back in with the lads. He's such an important player for us. So it leaves just a couple out now, really. Zach Heyman is obviously, he's been at Middlesbrough this week, being looked after there. Chris Stokes is getting closer, and he should be back training of some sorts next week. And we Scott Robinson. So, but by and large, the squad's starting to get a bit more bulk about it, and certainly loads of good options.
And finally, has there been a decision made on who's going to be the club captain for the season?
Yeah, I think, well, Alan Powell's going to take the team out. Alan will be the club captain. We just feel as though we've, you know, you could make a case for a lot of our players to be captain, but, you know, Alan is someone I spoke to closely in terms of bringing him here. I like midfielders being captains, to be honest. I think he can see a lot of what's going on behind him. He can still organise, bringing defenders up with him, but in front of him he can organise as well. And he leads by example. You know, he's someone that I feel he's always on the training pitch. He's always got that influence. But there's a group of players who I will lean on heavily this season. You know, my senior players, and every one of them could put a hand up to being a captain. But you know, somebody's got to take the team down the tunnel, and for this season it'll be Alan Power.